Alright, welcome guys to tonight's chair league match between Kairos and Oversoul. Just going ahead and getting things all set up right now. So I think we're still waiting on a few members of Kairos to all show up. Yeah. But Oversoul should be all ready to go. The map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity, is what I'm being told. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up right now. Let's see. I haven't casted any matches yet here for season 3. Let's see here. So things work a little bit differently here this season than last season. So last season, basically, the way the drafts were set up, the caster could just go ahead and start it without needing people to have showed up or anything. But because, and part of that was because the same map was used every week. So basically you could kind of have the draft all set up and ready to go. But this season, the away team, they get to choose the map. So as a result, you can't really have the drafts all kind of preset because you don't know what the map is going to be. So the away team picks the map. That's one of the changes. And then one of the requirements is that you need to have at least 4 people checked in from each team in order to get that draft going. So I am just waiting on the members of Kairos to all check in. I believe one of their members is checked in. Insane. Okay, we're up to 2 now. So hopefully a couple more will check in here in a second and we'll be all set. I'm being told that their members are getting started, so hopefully this will be all set to go here shortly. And in the meantime, I'm going to get the lobby all set up. So both these teams, this is a Division 1 match. I believe both these teams are 1-0. Now let's see here. Let's get the other guys here all set up. Okay, so we're up to 3 people checked in for Kairos. Just need 1 more. And hopefully we'll be all good to go here. So I guess the big Heroes of the Storm news today is that the new map has gone live on the PTR, along with some pretty extensive changes. Nazebo got his long discussed rework. Yeah, that's something Blizzard has been teasing for a while, and it finally came out. I am not really a Nazebo player, so I don't totally know what the changes are. But I believe the spiders no longer just kind of attack everything in the area. So takes the skill cap on Nazebo is a little higher. Can't just kind of throw spiders in the general area and then have them just kind of target whatever's around. Still wait on 1 more member to check in. But while we wait on that, so Nazebo got his big rework. Chen also got a rework, and similarly with Nazebo, I'm not too familiar with Chen, so I'm not totally familiar with how he's different from how he was before. But people seem to be liking both characters. I don't know if they're better necessarily, but maybe a little more, maybe a little different, maybe a little more versatile. We'll see. But The one character that I am familiar with who did get some changes is Malfurion. And it's actually pretty interesting. They got rid of his level 7 talent that basically gives him a giant heal over time. They made it a lot more baseline. So you no longer have that talent at 7, which was kind of mandatory before. Now you actually have some choices. So you can go cleanse at that talent. You can go... I think the other one, if you're going like a root build... let me back up. There seems to be like two main builds with him now. There's a root build, so you know you can take the root talents at 4, 7, and 16, I believe, or you can go a you know kind of the old swag Furion build, you know which is all Moonfire talents at 1, 13, and 16. And that seems a lot more viable because now you can take a cleanse at 7. Whereas if you're going the root build, you can't really take cleanse at 7. You kind of need that extra. I think it's strangling vines, which makes the roots do a little bit more damage. But pretty interesting. Still waiting on one more on Kairos to check in. But it's pretty interesting. The other big change they made was that they made Innervate. In addition to restoring mana, they actually made it so that it makes cooldowns refresh doubly fast. So to me, that's a really interesting change. I really like it. Before, it was just kind of like, oh, well, this person, you know, they need some mana. Let's cast Innervate on them. But now you have to be a little bit more choosy about who you cast it on. You probably want to wait till someone who has cast some spells. You might want to wait till there's an actual fight going on. Before you actually use that Innervate on someone. That way you're getting a little bit more value out of it. Not only are you restoring mana, but you're also refreshing cooldowns. So, like, for instance, like, I think he pairs really well with Jaina right now. You know, Jaina is someone who uses a lot of mana, and also has really long cooldowns, so I really think that the synergy there is going to be really, really nice. Yeah, I think Blizzard is still like on something insane, like a 15-second cooldown. I'm gonna get my stream up here on my phone just so I can see the chat and everything. Okay, and the 5th member of Kairos is here, so hopefully we should be all good to go here. Okay, so the 4th member is all checked in, so finally I can do start round. And then maybe we can get the draft links all set up and be good to go. So give me just a second here. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this does the draft. Nope. Okay, let's see here. Let's try this again. So part of the reason I haven't done any casting for this season of Cheer League is because OBS just kind of stopped working. It kind of started to have gigantic problems with it. I think ever since I upgraded to Windows 10, like it just started being super fussy. It when I loaded up the other day, I did get a an update which I think fixed the game capture, but still having some problems here with the window capture for things like the draft. So I don't know. Let's try this again. Okay, hopefully now this is working. There. Okay, cool. I'm praying that everyone will actually get to see the draft. But I'm being told that Kairos is having a vocal communication. Oh, okay. They're getting into a vocal communication program. Just a fancy way of saying they're all logging into Discord, so Discord is pretty nice. But we're just waiting on both teams to fully get situated and into the draft. It is, oh gosh, OBS. I think it's just the OBS original. I mean, mine just says Open Broadcaster Software version 0.659B, 64-bit. So I don't think I have any problems with it. Okay. All right, maybe I need to switch to a studio then. What's going on, Gamer Giving? How's it going? Haven't seen any of you guys in a while. Of course, I've been rather quiet because I've been way too addicted to this game. But that's how it goes. See, I'm worried about even trying to make this this window full screen so you guys don't all see this draft link up at the top. But I'm afraid that will break it. Because OBS seems like if you look at it in a non-satisfactory manner, it will behave like a small child and start misbehaving. So. Quiet Summer 2, yeah. I had a quiet summer too. Mostly because I had a Dutch intern with me all summer, so that was a lot of fun. He's one of the guys, he's the lead artist on a game I'm making, so that was a lot of fun. All right, but still waiting on both teams to ready up. So, what else has been going on here in the world of Heroes of the Storm? So, last week, we did see the beginning of Season 2, along with the Machines of War event. Okay, so it looks like Kairos is ready now. We're just waiting on Oversoul to ready up. But it was the start of Season 2, and also the start of the week of hell for me in this game. So the week before, well, I guess it was kind of the end of the week of hell. So the week before the reset, I was Diamond 4 in this game, which is, it's okay. It's pretty good. But then I decided, you know what, I want to keep going. I want to, see where I can really... I want to see if I can maybe get up to Diamond 3 before the end of the season. So, I played a ton. I hit Diamond 4. Immediate 10-game losing streak. And it's like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just fatigued or something. I don't know, but maybe I'm making mistakes. Who knows? But, I win a couple games and, go on another gigantic losing streak. Basically, I just keep doing horribly. And I end up falling all the way to Platinum 4. Anyway, the draft has started, so to cut the story short, I placed a gold 5 after being Diamond 4 the week before, so total of 11 ranks that I fell in the span of a week. Pretty terrible. I've gotten back up to Platinum 5, so I'll get back there, but really playing on tilt, not a good idea. So Kairos has decided to ban out Zagara first. Zagara, I'm a little surprised to see that kind of prioritization of Zagara. She did get nerfed fairly heavily, and this also, don't think it's the strongest map for her necessarily. This isn't a map that's so great for specialists. Although, if you consider Lunara a specialist, which I kind of do, um, very strong on this map, but not really a push centric map. But Zeratul is going to be banned out by Oversoul. So, I would expect someone like Greymane or Lunara to be prioritized on this map. Um, those are characters who can very quickly burn down the Immortal. Um, but no, it is going to be Falstad picked up by Kairos. Falstad, I know he did get some nerfs in the latest patch. Not exactly sure what they are, but who is good in this game? Murky's really good. Okay, so as I was saying, Greymane and Lunara are picked up by Oversoul. So basically, Kairos, they cannot win the race to... there's basically no way. Maybe Butcher, maybe Sergeant Hammer could allow them to outrace Oversoul when it comes to the Immortals, but I do think that is highly unlikely. So basically what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to team fight. They're going to have to defend. They're going to have to get kills and then use that advantage to take down the Immortal. But they cannot win the Immortals without heavily contesting them. Especially post 7, once Lunara, I assume, picks up Nature's Culling, which will allow her to burn down the Immortals much faster. But it's going to be Oriole picked up for Team Kairos. And I do think she can be a very strong support on this map. She doesn't really have mana, so basically as long as everyone else on the team is doing some kind of damage, or after level 7 taking some kind of damage, she can basically keep on healing. She's not going to run out of mana necessarily. Her teammates around her might, but she will not. But if she's paired with someone... so far, I'm not really liking the Oriole pick. The two heroes she pairs up super well with are Cho'Gall and Lunara. And Lunara's already picked up. It would be surprising to me if they were to pick up Cho'Gall in their last 2 picks, but it could happen. But it's going to be Arthas picked up for Kairos. So far, I'm not seeing anyone who can really give her a lot of, not mana, energy to do healing with. So I'm going to be curious to see who their last 2 picks are. But Oversoul might want to ban out Cho'Gall here just to be sure. You get immense value from banning out Cho because you actually ban out 2 heroes for the cost of 1, so. It's going to be Li Ming banned out. So far, no one has really prioritized any kind of burst assassin, although I guess you could still kind of consider Mage Stat kind of that, so. Kairos might be looking for someone with a little more sustained damage, so I don't know about the Li Ming ban. Although, actually, if she takes the teleport build with a Aether Walker at level 1, she can actually burn down the Immortals very quickly. Basically, her level 1 talent allows her to basically keep teleporting as long as she hasn't taken any damage, and usually she's not going to take damage from the Immortals. So basically, if she takes that along with Calamity at level 7, she can just like repeatedly teleport onto the Immortal, do damage to it with a very short cooldown, and burn it down fairly quickly. So maybe a pretty smart ban on the part of Oversoul. So Brightwing's picked up by Oversoul. Going to need a very strong front line to really keep Greymane and Lunar upright. Brightwing does not really have the burst heals to keep those 2 up, so she's going to have to rely on probably a strong tank and a bruiser. So I would expect Oversoul to pick up tanks with her last 2 picks. ETC is going to be picked up, which can be very scary with Greymane. And it is Cho'Gall. It is Cho'Gall. So there it is. So basically, Kairos is going to have infinite heals and infinite sustain in these fights. Thanks to Cho'Gall. See? Thought maybe it would have been wise to ban out Cho'Gall, but we shall see. Yeah, basically, at every level of the game, Oriole is amazing with Cho'Gall, and she just gets constant power spikes with him. When she hits level 7 and gets Empathic Link, basically she gets energy whenever Cho'Gall takes damage, in addition to dishing it out. So that's going to allow her meter to build up very fast. And then at 16, when she gets Reservoir of Hope, basically every time she casts a full mana heal, her maximum mana increases. So, and because Cho'Gall can fill up that meter so fast, basically she can just... In the late game, it's like she can cast Ancestral Healing on the team every 4 seconds. It is completely absurd. But it's going to be Anubarak picked up by Oversoul, so... Basically, I think they really just want to burn down the Immortals super fast, and hope Kairos doesn't interfere with that too much, but that is going to be everyone, so... So let's see here. What hotkey was it? Was it 1? Alright, there we go. So I set up this new system of hotkeys, so I just quickly press a key to switch between the different game scenes, so... But hey, I thank you all for joining me here tonight. I didn't want to broadcast that I was doing this, just on the chance that I would still have immense technical difficulties, but thankfully things seem to be working out. Have I done my Team League placements? I have done 5 of them. I have not done all of them. So far, I'm 4-1 in my placements, so infinitely better than my Hero League placements. And then the one game that I did lose, not me, but the team I was on, the only game we lost, had the number 1 or number 2 Team League Grandmaster on the other team. So that was kind of doomed from the beginning. Predictably, it did not go well. It was kind of a stomp. But here we go. We're going right into it. So for Kairos, we have Monkey Lamps on Cho, Insane on Arthas, General Clean on Oriole, Blank on Falstad, and RPSD on Gaul. And then on, God, what's the other team's name? Oversoul, yes, that's right. Shank on Greymane, Angie on Brightwing, Hallie on Lunara, Magic Pants on ETC, and Spook on Anubarak. I can tell I'm already going to be confused by Monkey Lamps and Magic Pants. That's already going to throw me for a loop. Monkey Lamps, I know, I'm pretty sure he is a support main. I'm pretty sure he played in Heroes of the Dorm. I think he was on one of the Final Four teams, if I'm not mistaken. But I know he's a very good player, so... This should be a good match. Both teams are 1-0. I know one of them came from... Oh god, what was it? Division 2. Yeah, they kind of won that division and ended up getting a promotion. So.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
So let's see. What are these teams up to? Usually you see one person solo lane and then you have 4 in the other. But it's looking like both teams maybe want to go fight in the middle.
The battle begins in...
You know, I think it's also a good map for Cho'Gall because he's 2 heroes in 1. It can be a little difficult to lane.
3, 2, 1.
You just kind of determine like who needs to go into what lane. Like it's hard to do like a 2-2-1. But this is a map where that suffers quite as much. But both teams being very cautious in the middle. Oversoul choosing to take bottom, using the Wisp from Lunara for vision, whereas Kairos gravitating towards the top lane. Looks like both teams are just kind of trying to scout out where everyone is. And that crown being put onto Arthas temporarily. I'm sure it will end up on Cho'Gall eventually. For the main of that. But Insane in a lot of trouble, and he is going to go down. Now, they are missing some soak in the top lane, but I wonder even if that's a good trade. I don't know. It's going to establish, I think, some early momentum for Oversoul, but I'm not sure they come out ahead on experience. And yeah, you actually see Kairos ahead on experience. Early game kills do not provide that much experience. It's just kind of a momentum thing. And Brightwing is actually going to take the top lane, so the bottom lane is going to have some sustain problems. And right as I say that, Anubarak goes down. It might be ideal to have Lunara maybe in the top lane and have Brightwing in the bottom, popping the team off, but she's going to come down now, get the team healed up, ready for the fight. Going to give up some soak as a result of that, which to me is already a very bad sign for Oversoul. If they're already this behind early, that's probably not a good sign, because Cho'Gall and Oriole just is very, very scary late game. But we actually see a defense of the Immortal by Brightwing, ETC, and Angie. False Set is going to go down. Whereas like Greymane and Anubarak just hammering away on the blue Immortal. So far, Oversoul, it seemed like their plan just from the draft was to basically just kind of race them with the Immortal, and so far that's happening. Greymane was allowed to just go completely ham on the Immortal and give them a huge lead. So Kairos, they know they have to come in here and contest this if they want to have any hope. There's probably nothing they can do to actually win the Immortal, but if they can come in here, get some kills, and get an XP lead off of that, it can be very beneficial for them. But Lunar is just going to sit back here and just kind of safely poke at the Immortal. But Arthas once again in some trouble, and he's going to manage to get out of there, but can't say the same for Anubarak. He is going to go down. And Brightwing does as well, so Oversoul, they managed to secure the Immortal, but at what cost? So False Light is going to go down into the bottom lane, get that soak down there, whereas ETC is going to go down there and do the same. Meanwhile, the Immortal is and it's got pretty decent shields on it, so I would expect it to probably get the wall down. But even then, look at this. Kairos is still ahead on XP, despite one of these towers being down. Even with the second tower being down, it's going to... both teams are still going to be fairly even on XP. So basically this... Spook in some trouble there on Anubarak, and Chenk is as well. Don't know that he's going to get out of there. No, he is going to end up falling. So, as a Lunara player, I think what Ellie was trying to do, she was trying to put poison on everyone who was trying to attack, and then using her W to slow down basically every target that's poisoned. Ooh, and Anubarak went in there and unable to get out. I think Anubarak is in a pretty bad place right now. He's very, very squishy. Let's see here. Did he take Dampen Magic? He did. So, well, that may not have been active, but that's basically the only thing that allows him to have any kind of tankiness. But so when Lunara poisons someone and then presses her W to poison everything, basically she slows down everything that's poisoned. So in a way, it's kind of, she was trying to use it to peel for her team, but fortunately Greymane was not able to get out of there. Speaking of Greymane, he is go ahead and picking up this Bruiser camp fairly early. He may have been afraid of some kind of invade, so went ahead and picked that up early. Kept that early, I should say. Meanwhile, the siege camp is being picked up in the top lane.
Are you ready? Approach your position.
So yeah, I was looking at the map for where the bruiser camp was. It's already been deleted. So unfortunately, because it was picked up so early, I'm not going to get so much value out of that. But a noob dives in, but unfortunately Brightwing is going to end up falling, which means that everyone up here on Oversoul really has to disengage. Yeah, we already see a full level lead here for Kairos, and Cho'Gall with Oriole is very snowballed. It's very late game, and this is probably not going to go well for Oversoul. Lunara just manages to barely get out of there. Arthas, though, in some trouble. That's the team turning on him. Greymane. Unfortunately, he gets rooted. Not going to be able to secure the kill. But everyone on the side of Oversoul is awfully low. But when you have a Brightwing, that is not really a problem. Just kind of needs to hover around and fart her little fairy dust all over everybody. And in no time, they will all get healed up mana free. And this is actually an interesting build that Brightwing took. It's kind of half the trait build and then half the shield build. I would have expected to see the reduced cooldown on her Z if she's doing the phase shield. But an aggressive burrow in by Spook. And Arthas in some trouble. Greymane goes in and manages to secure the kill. But Anubarak is going to fall. So far a 1-for-1. And all this is happening. Meanwhile, Lunara is just chunking away at that Immortal. But Anubarak going to go down. ETC in a lot of trouble too. Maybe he can power slide away in time. But no, the fort likely going to keep him away. Oh, wow. It was looking like Cho'Gall was maybe going to be incredibly aggressive and dive there behind the fort to get him. But he ended up using that wind up to actually disengage. And this is very bad for Oversoul. They definitely do not want this Immortal to be here. They do not really have the teamfight comp. They have the burn down the Immortal comp, and because of where the Immortals are positioned, not really going to be able to do that. But here they come. They're going hard on a Cho'Gall. But as always with Cho'Gall, Oriole just has a full energy bar. All of the poison being put on a Cho'Gall is just allowing Oriole to build a full bar of energy and just really do an amazing job of topping her team off. But it's looking like this Immortal is going to go over to Kairos, but not before they secure 2 more kills. Level 10 had been reached, and the Shadow Bolt Volley comes out and secures 2 more kills. So the second Immortal of the game goes over to Kairos, and they just decide to go ahead and push with their entire team. It would be a 5-man push, but they have Cho'Gall, so it's actually a 4-man push. But Anubarak in a lot of trouble, manages to burrow out of there in time, gets the shield from Brightwing. And meanwhile, Lunar is going top, just trying to soak, get to level 10 so they can get their ultimate abilities. Where did Brightwing... Okay. I don't know. This overlay, even though this is like the default Blizzard one, like it's still plenty buggy. I think I thought that fort was Brightwing. So, but Anubarak, oh, just getting absolutely chunked. The Cinder Ghosts are coming out from Arthas, disabling the fort. An aggressive flyover from Blank on Falstad. Does the Gust, manages to pick off ETC, and of course he could do that. He could do that. That flyover and Gust safely because the fort had been disabled. Sorry, the keep had been disabled. This may already be game. Like, this Immortal already is approached the core at 100% health. Of course, it's being chunked down now, but at the time. But Anubarak probably going to go down. Oh, he manages to get away. Greymane going awfully deep, trying to get the kill on Arthas. Unfortunately, does not secure it. Yeah, one thing I didn't mention during the draft, the Anubarak pick was definitely, I thought it was a wise last pick, because they still needed a bruiser, and Nubarok can cocoon Cho'Gall and basically get double the value he would normally get out of that ultimate. So basically, he could put Cho'Gall in the cocoon, and he's basically removing 2 members from a team fight. And not only that, but he's preventing Oriole from generating a ton of energy. So it's really like he's kind of taking 3 of them out of the fight. But unfortunately, it took them an awfully long time to reach level 10. And it may already be too late. Because sure, Anubarak is getting that power spike at 10, which is really going to help his team out. But I think they're just too far behind at this point. Anubarak manages to awkwardly burrow behind some terrain. Not sure he really made it behind that, but whatever. Whatever, Blizzard. Made it behind, sure. But he came up like in the middle of that pit and then just kind of walked out of it, but good enough. But we are going to see the siege camp here picked up on the top. But meanwhile, a ton of damage being dealt onto Arthas, but the very clutch Crystal Aegis comes out in time to save him. And ends up being Anubarak and Greymane to fall. But the Emerald Wind comes out from Brightwing. Unfortunately, it did not manage to save Falstad, or the others, but really, it's really hard to save people when you're in so big of a hole. It was a 3-level lead at the time. It's about to be a 3-level lead once again, once 15 is reached here momentarily, like Kairos, but so both teams just electing to hit the Immortals as hard as they can. Kairos got a big head start on that, so even though they didn't have the team comp to burn down the Immortals, they still managed to secure that early lead on it. Oh yeah, having a 3-level lead helps too. That's not gonna lie. That is a big thing. But Anubarak with the aggressive burrow in gets hit by Detainment Strike by Oriole. But a big mosh pit comes out. It is going to land both Falstad and Arthas, and I believe Oriole in there. But the members of Oversoul are just awfully low. It was a big mosh pit, but they just don't have the damage being down this far to really capitalize on it. And we had a slight disconnect from Lunara, but I believe she's back. But it's not going to matter because that is 4 members wiped, and that's going to be GG. Sindragosa comes out just as a formality. Not going to disable the core or anything, but is going to slowly remember this down. No, I'm not sure they're going to be able to end here. 4%. Oh, okay. This has got to be over. Falstad. Okay, he's flying to the other side. Okay. Little cheeky move there. But yeah, good game. Oh, let's see here. What was my pre and post game key? Was that 2? You know, I'll leave it here in the game for just a little bit longer. I do want to point out the healing that was done by Oriole. Let's see here. Yeah, 55,000 to a mere 38,000 from Brightwing. Just the Cho'Gall, like just putting the Bestow Hope on Cho'Gall just allowed her to build so much energy. And Oriole's heal, it is an area heal, so it's going to heal everyone around her. And now Cho'Gall is 2 bodies in 1, so already one of the bodies is being removed from that kind of area effect, but just the fact that she gets to build energy from Gall's damage and the damage that Cho takes is just... She just builds so much energy. It makes up for it in spades. And I don't even think we got to 16, but had we gotten there, probably would have seen Reservoir of Hope picked up by Oriole. But, I mean, this is the big one, the Empathic Link. Very good. Usually you see Bursting Light at 1 with Cho'Gall too, just so that you can not only heal Cho, but also deal damage to anyone he's fighting in the front line, so... Yeah. But yeah, a good game. Here, let's see here. Is this the right key? Did I do it right? Did I do it? Let's see here. No, I think that was the draft. Let's see here. 1... No, that's the game. There we go. Okay, there we go. It's number 3. But you know, yeah, I do think the game was won in the draft. I mean, Oreo Cho'Gall is just such an incredible trio. I guess maybe it's trio because Cho'Gall counts as 2. But you know, I would have liked to see Cho'Gall banned out by Oversoul there with that second round ban. I could have prevented a lot of that. But yeah, good games to both teams. I as far as I know, that all went well. I think you all could hear me. The game displayed properly and everything. Like I said earlier. Yeah, the big reason that I hadn't been doing casting is just from technical difficulties with OBS. Yeah, it wasn't showing the game display. You know, sometimes it doesn't display the draft properly, and so you know, I kind of threw my hands up in frustration. But now that things appear to be working, maybe I will do some more casting. So I would enjoy that. But anyway, I thank you all for watching. Good games to both teams, and congratulations to Kairos on your victory. So that's gonna do it for me for tonight. Thanks, guys.